Hey guys, this is Hamid. I'm author of Seven Figure Agency Mindset A to Z book and founder of Software Pro Group of Company in New York City and Lahore. Today we're going to discuss about another important topic of my book, which is not only technical but ethical too. Yes, you might have heard this term for the first time in your life if you have not read my book, but what you're hearing is absolutely correct. What I've observed in my 17, 18 years of career is that a lot of people, they work on their tactical skills. They want to be really great in doing calls, they want to be really great in programming and designing and marketing, but a lot of friends will not learn how to be a good human being. So in order to live an exceptional life, in order to build an exceptional agency, do not forget that we need to be extremely ethical with our values as well. We need to be extremely ethical when we are in discussions, in communication with our clients, with our peers, with our subordinates as well. So in order to run a successful seven-figure agency, you don't only need a successful marketing team, a successful design team, a technical team. What you really need is an ethical team as well. What does that take to be or make an ethical team? Let's talk about it today. To make an ethical team, you need to deliver ethics trainings. And you'd be asking me, Hamid, what's going to be included in those ethical trainings? So let's go one by one about those factors that needs to be addressed, that needs to be trained to your team about, and that should be in subconsciousness of your team members, that if they have to be your team member or working in your agency, then they have to keep those elements in mind. First element is about collectivism and teamwork at the workplace. That essentially means that the organizations which are promoting individualism, they don't do exceptionally well. However, where all the individuals are working together to achieve a common goal, which is matching the vision of the company, those organizations prosper really well. So you need to ensure that your team has been trained on the training for the collectivism and the teamwork, where they're not self-centered, they are team-centered. They are particularly worried about team targets, the organizational targets, and they are respecting other targets as well. Another important factor is acceptability at the workplace. That means if somebody is doing a better job than you, accept it. That means if somebody has been given a reward, accept it. That means if somebody is above rank than you, above level than you, accept it. So there is a very famous saying that it's not you versus him or her. It's always you versus you. So you have to be a better person, and you have to be a better person than yesterday, and just keep on improving yourself, keep on improving your skills, keep on improving your courtesy levels, becoming a better human being, becoming more technical person, and going to the next levels. You don't have to compete with your friends because they're a level up. You have to compete it with yourself if you have gone a level up than yesterday or the past week or the past month or the past year. Then there is absolutely no room for any abusive behavior. Within the workplace, there should be a respect environment. Every person, every human being, every male, every female is being handled with extreme respect. Never be abusive in your organization. That essentially is a responsibility of your HR team. But then, as I mentioned, you have to give the training to your team in such a way that they have to be extremely respectful to the other team members. Then comes the law-abiding culture. Yes, so in your culture, in your organization, there has to be a training that nobody should be allowed to do any illegal stuff, any illegal thing which could jeopardize their personal being, which could jeopardize their teams, essentially jeopardize your organization as well. So there has to be an atmosphere in your organization that everybody is worried about doing things absolutely right and in a legal way. And there has to be a perception that there is absolutely no room for any illegal thing. And then if you're running an organization, then you got to make sure, and if you're a Muslim entrepreneur as well, then you're making sure that you are earning halal and you are keeping those things into your mind as well. And apart from these factors, there is a huge definition for doing halal in your organization as well. That could include that you're not stealing the data, you're not misusing the information, You're not stealing the privacy of your friends. You're not stealing the privacy of your team members. You're respecting them. You're making sure that you're spending full time in your organization and you're not wasting time, and making sure that all of your time spent in your organization is absolutely halal. And you're not deceiving anyone. You're not hiding any facts. So all of these facts and things comes under halal, and you got to make sure that your team understand that as well, and they understand the company vision that you have to earn halal to be a successful employee, a businessman, and a successful agency as well. And then if you're a leader, then you have to see that how successful leaders have led the organizations. They have led their subordinates, how to be respectful, courteous to your subordinates, even though you are more powerful than your subordinates, yet you're using your power in such a way which is being extremely respectful, yet you're meeting the KPIs from your team as well. Then you got to talk about discrimination issues as well. There should be absolutely no discrimination based on gender, based on religion, based on ethnicity. So there has to be a promotion criteria, but that should be based on doing the great work, meeting or exceeding KPIs in your team, rather than looking at the factors which I just mentioned. And then there has to be absolutely no space for harassment in the organization. So the HR team responsibility is to ensure that they're doing the trainings where there is absolutely no harassment for the females, for the males, for the subordinates, especially to the employees or the workers who are working just on a lower level. They should be feeling respectful in your organization as you are meeting the KPIs. And if they're not meeting the KPIs, then they should be respectfully given the notices from your HR team or the heads of the organization to probably leave the organization in a good way. And finally, if there is a conflict, then being an agency owner and running your HR team, there has to be trainings to the team about ensuring that you are resolving the conflict in a neutral way. So do not ever be biased by a human being or a person just because he's a friend, he's doing a really good job, so I'm going to be biased towards that person. Always be neutral when you're deciding among the team members. So that's the responsibility of your HR team to resolve the conflicts in a very good way. Similarly, give the training to your team members that they should always think positive. So there is a mindset which talks about negative from every positive aspect. And then there is a mindset which sees the positivity even in the negative situation. So give the training to your team that they're looking for positivity even in a negative situation. They are more solution oriented rather than problem oriented. And finally, when you are estimating to your clients, when you're preparing estimations to the end customer, and essentially when your developer or marketer or any other member in your team is giving estimation, you're not exaggerating it. You're not undercoding it as well. So there has to be an environment in your agency that everybody is ensuring that integrity factor is being watched very carefully when they're estimating or gauging the project, how long it's going to take a project, and they're giving an approximate number. Some developers or some marketers or some project managers I've seen that they're going to estimate the time to way higher than it's going to take. And the justification they provide is that if they don't give or if they don't exaggerate that amount, that essentially is going to fall back over them. So my suggestion to all of the members who say like that is you can have a margin of 10 to 20%, let's say, over and above what you think is going to take approximate time. But if you exaggerate the time and you're selling in hours or you're selling by the estimate or the effort, do not exaggerate the thing, because essentially if you have miscoded something, so apart from the fact that it's a bad conduct, your project managers, your business owner, your client, they're gonna know one day that you have miscalculated it, and then essentially they can fire you up. They can fire a project manager, they can fire a developer, they can fire a whole organizational team just for the fact that one good day they came to know about the fact that somebody have not coded it well. So always keep the integrity factor in mind when you're estimating a project, and it's gonna help you build a long-term relationship with your peers and with your clients as well. So guys, the checklist today, you're not gonna find to a lot of places, a lot of courses, a lot of books. They're gonna talk about building wealth, giving you the strategy and all. But today we have spoken about a soft factor, which is being ethical in the organization. I hope you like that. And if you have liked that, do not forget to share this video to other people, other agency owners, so they can implement these ethical trainings in their organizations as well. Until next time, this is Hamid.